Okay, good afternoon. Listen up. We'll start with another concept. The last idea of your chapter, first chapter. The relativistic velocity transformation. The relativistic transformation of velocity. You can write, no problem. Transformation of velocity. The relativistic transformation of velocity. Otherwise, the relativistic velocity transformation. Velocity transformation. They are one and the same. They are one and the same. The relativistic transformation of velocity or the relativistic velocity transformation. Okay, to do so, let us consider two frames of reference. I will consider two frames of reference like this. This is one frame of reference. This is another frame of reference which is moving with a constant velocity. Okay, like this. This is x dash. This is y dash, y, z dash, z. O is the origin here. Here, O dash is the origin. This frame is called by the name S dash, which is moving with a constant velocity v along the positive x-axis. And this is the frame of reference. Relatively, it is said to be at rest. Compared to this one, this is at rest. But S dash is a frame. Compared to S, it is go on moving along the positive x-axis with a constant velocity. Uniform velocity is equal to v. This is constant, or you can write uniform velocity along the positive x-axis. I will consider a particle here. This is a particle or a body. This particle is also moving here, not with the same velocity, moving with some velocity. The particle is moving along the positive x-axis with some particular velocity. Okay, that particle velocity relative to S dash. That particle velocity relative to S, I supposed to write. So what I have considered so far? I have considered here. Let me consider two frames of references. Two frames of references. One is S and S dash. Out of these two, S dash is moving. S dash is moving. Let S dash is a frame. S dash be moving along the positive x-axis. Along the positive x-axis with a constant velocity. With a constant velocity v. Along which direction? Along the positive x-axis. So meaning S is one frame of reference, S dash is another frame of reference. X, Y, Z are the coordinates for S. X dash, Y dash, Z dash are the coordinates for S dash. S dash is a frame moving along the common x-axis, with a constant velocity v. Okay, that's all I explained. Let me consider a particle here. Let us consider a particle. Let us consider a particle which is also moving. Which is also moving along the positive x direction. Along the positive x direction or x axis. This is a particle which is moving along the positive x-axis with some velocity. It is moving. Followed this. So any doubt is there within this? You can see that. You can ask the question. No problem. I have considered two frames of references, S and S dash. S dash is a frame which is moving along the positive x-axis like this with a velocity, constant velocity, uniform velocity v. Consider a particle in the frame S dash, which is also moving along the positive x-axis with some particular velocity. My point is that particular body velocity, particle velocity in S dash, that particle velocity in S, are they same or are they different? That we want to discuss, that we are supposed to discuss. Okay, now let us consider here. Let us consider rate of change of displacement in the first frame, dx by dt, that is equal to u, that is equal to velocity of the particle. Velocity of the particle in S with respect to this frame. With respect to this frame, this particle velocity is this. Rate of change of displacement is equal to velocity in the, it is a velocity of the particle in the frame S. In the frame S, the velocity of the particle I have chosen dx by dt is the rate of change of displacement. It has been written as u. Similarly, with respect to S dash is how much? Let us consider dx dash divided by dt dash is equal to u dash. That is equal to velocity of the particle in S dash frame. Velocity of the particle in S dash. This particle velocity with respect to S. This particle velocity with respect to S dash. That I have written. Okay, understood the concept. Very easy to understand the idea. Only thing is we have to do the repetition at home. So one concept is finished. Now continuation. I will take up the continuation idea. What we are supposed to write here further. Okay. So the next concept, continuation. From Lorentz transformation equations, we can write from Lorentz transformation equation. Lorentz transformation equations. What we can write using the Lorentz transformation equation. We can write the Lorentz transformation equation. X dash is equal to, meaning the displacement with respect to S dash and with respect to S. Displacement in S dash and related to S. How to write that? X dash is equal to, this is the beginning class that I already explained that one. K into X minus Vt. You are wondering about that K, sir, what is that? Don't forget where K is equal to divided by X minus Vt divided by, that is divided by square root of 1 minus V square divided by C square. If you are substituting this, you will get Lorentz transformation equations beginning class. Maybe first class or second class. X dash is equal to K into X minus Vt. Similarly, T dash is equal to, I want to connect between S dash prime to S prime. K into, again K is equal to same thing, square root of 1 divided by square root of 1 minus V square divided by C square, that is K into, here it is T minus V x divided by C square. V x divided by C square. V x divided by C square. Now I will going to differentiate this as well as this. So let us differentiate both. Differentiating these equations. Let us differentiate this as well as this. If you differentiate this, you will be getting dx dash is equal to a constant, multiplication sign is there, therefore I will write that dx, differentiation of this, minus v into dt. V into dt. Differentiation of this second equation. dt dash, k is a constant, this one, into dt. You can put k is equal to this and you had to keep this whole thing as it is here. Instead of writing this one, I kept it as k1. dt, this one, differentiation of this minus v into dx divided by c square. V into dx divided by c square. Now we're going to take the division here. So one by the other, dx dash divided by this. Okay, therefore dx dash divided by dt dash is equal to what you are going to get, k into dx minus v into dt. This is k into dt minus v dx divided by c square. K get cancelled. Is it clear? Now, this numerator and denominator separately it has been divided by one by one. Okay. Separately it has been divided by dt here. This is also divided by dt. Both. Therefore, not this one. This one I will keep it as it is. Dx dash divided by dt dash is equal to dx divided by dt minus v into dt divided by dt whole divided by dt divided by dt minus v divided by c square dx divided by dt. dt get cancelled here. Therefore, dx dash divided by dt dash is equal to dx divided by dt minus v whole divided by 1 minus v by c square into dx divided by dt. But we know that dx dash divided by dt dash is equal to u dash, dx by dt is equal to u. This is also equal to u. Okay, I will show it here. See that we have started with that. These two. I will substitute these ideas here. Okay. Therefore, what you are going to get here, this u dash is equal to u minus v divided by 1 minus uv divided by c square. So meaning, in one frame of reference, s dash frame, whatever the velocity of the particle, in s frame, whatever the velocity of the particle, they are not one and the same. U dash is different, u is different. This is the particle velocity. This is the particle velocity in s dash frame. This is the particle velocity in s frame, which is said to be at rest with respect to this. This is a moving frame. This is at rest. This frame of reference is said to be at rest. In the frame S, the velocity of the body is u. In the frame S dash, the velocity of the particle is u dash. U dash and u, they are not one and the same. This is the concept you had to write at the time of examination. Again, I am showing just to see that another one small derivation, it has been completed. You see that the whole thing that I am showing again. Any doubt if you are getting, you can ask. Notes I have not yet given, I will give it. Almost all the notes I have written here itself. The whole notes I have written here. No problem. You can write this much also for your final exam. But I will get you the notes. Still, I had to discuss one more concept. Okay, the next concept. The other concept, one more question that we are going to, I mean, 2 marks question we are asking. It carries 2 marks. The next concept. Okay, so what is a 2 marks idea here? What do you mean by principle of equivalence? It says that principle of equivalence. State the principle of equivalence. State the principle of equivalence. We are asking the question like this. State and explain the principle of equivalence. We are asking for 2 marks. State the principle of equivalence, otherwise state and explain the principle of equivalence. Before taking up this concept, first we have to think about the 2 more concepts, that is inertial mass and gravitational mass. Inertial mass and gravitational mass. What do you mean by inertial mass and gravitational mass? It is not in our syllabus. Old syllabus we have. Okay, but without that we cannot proceed here. For that purpose, I suppose to discuss about the inertial mass and gravitational. Inertial mass means Newton's second law, F is equal to ma. That is inertial mass. Unless a force is acting on a body, the body could not be able to change its initial position or maybe its uniform velocity with which whatever it was been transversed. That is a meaning. First idea, inertial mass. Inertial mass. Wherever inertia is present, that mass of the body could not be able to overcome its own inertial state unless there is a force that is acting, is called by the name the inertial mass, nothing else. So meaning, we know that F is equal to m into a. Where m is equal to here F divided by a. This is called by the name inertial mass. This is inertial mass. If you want, I will write that inertial mass like this. Okay, this is inertial force, Fi. This is inertial mass. This is mi, Fi. Therefore, I can write m suffix I means inertial. If you want to write capital I only, you can write, no problem. Mi is equal to Fi divided by suffix divided by A. This is inertial mass. Inertial mass is equal to force, inertial force divided by the acceleration of the body. Okay, and we know that gravitational force taken from first PUC concept. This is gravitational force, even this one. Okay, let us consider 2 bodies. One body mass is m1, another body mass is m2. The distance of separation between here to here is equal to maybe r or d, whatever it may be. Now there is a gravitational force is present here. That gravitational force, F suffix g, gravitational force or small g, you can write, no problem, is equal to here capital G into product of the body masses m1 into m2 divided by square of the distance separation between them. This is gravitational force. This is inertial force. This is gravitational force. Using this gravitational force, I can write further here F gravitational is equal to m gravitational multiplied by g, means m into g, mass into acceleration due to gravity. Mass into acceleration due to gravity is equal to gravitational pull. Therefore, I can write here m gravitational is given by means gravitational mass. This is gravitational mass. Gravitational mass is equal to here F gravitational divided by G, acceleration due to gravity. Gravitational force, don't cancel this G and G. No, this is F suffix G, this is G. M suffix G, gravitational mass is equal to gravitational force divided by acceleration due to gravity. Acceleration due to gravity. This is gravitational mass. This is inertial mass. This is inertial mass. This is gravitational mass. Now, according to principle of equivalence, it says that according to Einstein, I can say, according to Einstein, this inertial mass and gravitational mass of a body, they are one and the same. They are equal to each other. So, according to Einstein, called by the name the principle of equivalence, that is called by the name the principle of equivalence, it says that inertial mass, it is equal to gravitational mass. Inertial mass is equal to gravitational mass. Inertial mass is how much? This one, Fi divided by A. This is Fg divided by G. So meaning that if you are choosing, meaning of this idea is, let us consider this is the Earth. This is Earth. If you are considering one body here, another body, a bigger body here. Okay. Both of them, they are falling with the same acceleration due to gravity G. If that is the case here, consider this Earth's surface. I will consider one small body, one bigger body at the same point. Height is said to be the same. The height at which they are present is said to be the same. Now this is falling down here. This is also falling down. Okay, some of you can answer. How many of you know the answer? This is a smaller body. This is a larger body. This is having a larger body. This is the body which is having a larger in size. This is having a smaller in size. Weight is more here, weight is less. Now let us consider these two bodies are moving from the same height. Now, which body is going to get reaches to the Earth first? This body, A I will consider, B I will consider. Which body is going to reach us? Which body is going to reach to the Earth first? First, which body is going to reach to the Earth? Okay, the answer is both the bodies, they are going to reach to the Earth simultaneously, because both of them, they are moving with the same acceleration due to gravity. Both of them, they are going to get moved with the same acceleration due to gravity. And of course, we are neglecting the air resistance. Air resistance we are neglecting here. And if it is vacuum, it has been created here, then both the bodies, they are reaches to the Earth simultaneously. That is, inertial mass is equal to gravitational mass. That is the meaning of Einstein's concept. It carries maybe 2 marks. It carries 2 marks. Gravitational mass is equal to inertial mass. If you are writing gravitational mass is equal to inertial mass, that's all. That's all. That's all the concept. It will be finished. Okay. See that any doubt is there, you can ask.